is it. It's time to get your cheers out. It's time to begin the grand finals of the World Team League Summer 2022.
Phoenix Gaming versus Team NV. Game 1.
Of course, while this is Rogue's last ever event representing DPG, this is Team NV's last ever event. Man, you know what? I'm worried. Rogue in the bottom left, because I said one of the storylines might be this magical, amazing run from Team NV, and then Rogue just shows up and goes 7-0 and says, bye. This was nice, but yeah, I'm Rogue. We don't have good finals when I'm playing. And now he's out first! He could just 7-0! No, I don't like it. Stop. Make it stop. You can't do this to me, no. If Rogue goes 7-0, I'm going to be screaming and kicking and be like, no, you can't do this. And Rogue's just got his troll face on. DPG are looking to become the first ever back-to-back World Team League champions. They have won it twice. They're the only team to have won it twice. But they didn't win it back-to-back. They had 2 seasons in between their 2 victories. Yeah, it is, guys. World Team League Grand Finals. Bunny starts off strong with the CC first. No fear at all. Hatch, gas, and pull from Rogue. So you won't be able to do much against the command center first opening. Shouldn't be able to counter that in too many ways. And we are going to get a bit of greed going unhindered for Bunny early on. And what a run from Team NV. Even if they fall here, they have had such a good tournament. They have had such a good time. It's been amazing to watch. It's been absolutely awesome. It's been absolutely top tier. And again, I'm just sad that they're going to be disbanding after this. I mean, after they showed what they could do as a team. But I love that, though. I love that they said this is our chance to show that we just, you know, because so many people were like, Team NV, oh, they'll be terrible now they don't have Maru. But look at them now in the grand finals, you know? I love that they were able to kind of make that statement for themselves at the very least. I think that's really awesome. Let's see if they can go all the way and surprise everybody. Apart from me, because clearly I'm a Team NV believer. Obviously, this CC first is going to now morph into a factory. Reactor on the way. Not much Rogue can do early here. Shorter map, maybe. A world of roaches for Rogue. We know he does like that, but I suppose we will find out. Let's do have this first game getting set up. Of course, again, if one of these players loses the first map, they do get to play a second map to try and fight back and take a life off the other team still, and they do get to do that in the loser map pick as well. As we get this going. So yeah, a little bit of a slow start. Just getting this rolling, seeing what's going to go down, see what's going to come out. A couple queens at the front, and let's see what we'll do from here. We're still just kind of waiting to see what our tech's going to be, what our style's going to be. Obviously, 3CC from Bunny, so pretty passive, pretty just macro-focused from him. Really not going to go too wild in that regard. Just, I guess, a lot of what you would usually be expecting to see. So yeah, that ain't all too crazy. We do get a Banshee going. That's a good little bit of safety, of course. Get a Banshee out, nip away at a couple of workers, for example. Just get some damage done while keeping yourself very safe against a player who is notorious for being very aggressive early in the game as well, right? It's definitely not a bad idea. Can't really disagree or be upset at that choice. A couple Hellions around to the top, just roaming, seeing what they can find. If there's any opportunities right now as our stim pack, our cloak. All of this is coming online, all of this is getting set. Just going to see the Banshees will obviously not just be that one for safety, but in fact 2 for some harassment as well. So all of that already coming on by. Getting set to rumble. Fun, fun, fun. There's the Roach run from Rogue. So he is going to play a Roach style here early on. Get that started, get that underway. A couple of Evolution Chambers coming by as well. So, yeah, just looking to play 1-1 Roaches. But like I say, that's why the Banshees are great. Because even if they don't have to deal with an early Roach attack, any Roach attack, Banshees are going to be very useful in. Having them just sit overhead and dish out damage, that actually works wonders. It does so much for you. So, I like the choice of opening from Bunny. He's not been very active on the map, which isn't the end of the world either. I feel like that's okay, very manageable still. Let's see where we go from here. As Rogue has got a good spot at Overlord, seeing units moving out to that third and so on, so can maybe make some decisions based around that as well if needed. So, yeah, like I say, happy to see that at the very least. Banshees actually show up. Oh my god, there's no spores ready from Rogue! He was caught so off guard. The Banshees trying to actually get the Hellions to help them out to get some extra quick kills here. Why are we targeting the Queen? I feel like targeting the Queen there became a mistake from Bunny, honestly, as he goes into the main base. Yeah, Spore's not ready here either. He's killing so many drones. Bunny's off to a fast start here for sure. 30 workers down. The Banshees in range of the Queens now as they run out of cloaking. He's going to lose at least the front one. That Queen is on the cut route to knock him down. I actually just feel like Bunny missed some opportunity there. The Hellions were almost so well lined up to come in and get the massive line of drones. But not only that, he honestly just shot at Queens when he could have had a lot more drone shots as well. Felt like that was a little bit surprising and arguably a little bit disappointing. But at the same time, he just killed 15 workers for almost free. I mean, you can't be too upset about that. That still puts you in a very good position here. Well, there's a run by. That's the sort of thing you do not want to be having happen right now as Bunny, because that's the sort of thing that does bring Rogue back into this game. And that's, of course, what makes Rogue so dangerous. He will never stop looking for those opportunities and those ways back into the game, right? So, yeah. Just gotta be careful right now. Can't get too ahead of yourself. This drop shouldn't do too crazy either, because you're playing against a Roach player. Roach players have this magical thing called Roaches, which are actually very good initially at dealing with drops like this. Obviously, they get a little bit worse over time as more bio units get on the field. As we are going to finish up 1-1 on the side of Rogue, matching that of Bunny's. Bunny, who does not start his 2-2 yet, would like to just see that. Would be a shame to let that kind of slide into obscurity as he does get himself a Queen kill. This time costs him a few Marines, keeping up the pressure and bringing more units down in this direction with a push. Could Bunny do well? There'd be some potential. He's going to hop up over here. No pun intended, just because he's a bunny. Don't mean to say he's hopping all the time. If that Overlord just backs away, just content with the small bits of damage. Doesn't feel the need to go kind of overboard or anything, right? Get a drone or two, get out. Preserving the unit seems to be the main goal right now. I don't disagree. If you keep the units alive, you really are in a very good position to be able to stack up that big army and then actually overwhelm this Roach force, which again is kind of what it's all about with Roaches. Get to a point where you can just truly overwhelm them. Some files coming down. Medevac's going to try and drop in the main base. Obviously, Rogue doesn't have a lot of great anti-air, so it is important that you try and get through and, you know, shut these Medevacs down if possible, but Queens got killed before they could get a Medevac here, and now just the Ravages in this main base are not a good response. We are going to knock... I thought we were going to get a Medevac, actually. That's what I was setting up to say, but the Medevac lived. The Queen died too quickly. We'll continue to trade out, getting a good few units, definitely getting some value out of this. Bunny continuing to trade well for now. Rogue is up in supply, but again, he's mostly veiled in Roaches. A few Banes coming out. The one Banshee is actually over there as the main force of Bunny starting to push. Bunny has a Changeling in this army. That's very scary. Because now it means that this Rogue can kind of basically pick himself the fight, right? He can say, oh yeah, like, I can see your army. I know when to fight. I know what surround I want to set up for. Like, he can just make all of the decisions here, and that has got to be a little bit terrifying if you're Bunny. Obviously, he doesn't know as there's a Ling run by hitting his third. He is pulling away from that as he sets up to continue pushing here at the front. If he can deal with that Ling run by, which he is doing very well. I mean, 8 SCVs go down, but that's very manageable amount of work is lost. Then this push at the front is scary. Rogue is ticking on over to +2 carapace soon. Bunny doesn't have his own 2-2. The Vipers are going to be massive for Rogue here. They really need to find themselves some good blinding clouds and see what they can do. A couple more SCVs fell, but otherwise dealt with. It is slowing down some of Bunny's reinforcements. He sieges back up the tanks in range of the blinding cloud. Oh, and Bunny leans into his PC almost like, what? Oh, Rogue is just going to crush through this, right? I mean, Link streaming in, maybe not the best. That one blinding cloud was brutal. And he had just unsieged his army as well. So Rogue striking in that moment. And now Corrosive File's taking down the tanks, and Bunny is going to be properly pushed back. Rogue's on his way to an Ultralisk Cavern as well, and it feels as though Bunny might have not quite had what he needed to have happen here. As Rogue starts off strong for Dragon Phoenix game. And it didn't look good with those Banshees dealing so much damage, but that's why I was kind of sad that he didn't get more out of them when it felt like the chance was there. Because you know Rogue is going to pull himself back into games. You know this guy is hard to kill. You've really got to take every advantage that you can, and it did just feel like a couple of those possible advantages were missed a bit earlier on from Bunny. 40 supply deficit, it's not game ending per se. He's got a 4th base coming online soon, but it definitely gives Rogue a good position to play forward from, much better than it was earlier. Fire drops to the bottom right, just not going to find much. I guess in the end, a lot of these drops from Bunny just didn't find what they needed to find as well, right? We saw quite a few drops going down and didn't actually manage to, I guess, get enough out of it. But income graph now just going to benefit Rogue massively too. Those few Marauds just trying to, again, find damage wherever they can, just not being too successful so far. I'm sad, guys. I'm sad because I'm fully on the Team Envy hype train right now. You know, call me biased, I don't care. I am fully on the Team Envy hype train, and I was getting excited because this first game was looking good. It was looking good, but again, you're playing against Rogue, and looking good is just not good enough. At the end of the day, you've got to be actually really winning the game, so... Well, like I say, Bunny can keep on fighting. The problem is he's now up against Ultras that are already on the map, and he's just starting the Ghost Academy. If he'd already had the Ghost Academy, this may not be so bad. This is a nice little run by. He's going to aim for the hatch. He might actually get the hatchery. That Marauder actually just helping out against the structure. Gets it. Loses the Marauder, but gets a hatch kill. And that's nice. Take away a little bit of that Rogue economy. 4 base versus 4 base for at least a little bit. This means that Rogue's 89 drones don't get full saturation, especially 12 minutes in. Some of the bases will be mining out and so on, so full saturation is not available for a few moments. We grab this Overlord, and Rogue gets a very minor supply block while already at 198 supply, so... Actually, back in that bottom right, it's going to be a recancel on that base. So Bunny playing well over there. Hits the left side. This hatchery may go down too. But Bunny really believes he can... I'm just wondering if that was too many units lost to the Banelings. If you can keep Rogue on 4 bases, there's a world, right? You get maxed out. Rogue's bank is somewhat manageable still. You get a few ghosts up. Just feels like every fight has to be so good for Bunny. Liberator sieging up. There is a couple ghosts out. Blinding Cloud's going down and shut down all of the siege tanks, my goodness. The Rogue has been attacking into this defensive position. Those tanks on the high ground are huge. They are what are really delivering a lot of shots right now, but can they survive the Ultras? Like I say, a couple of the ghosts, they were in there, but they've been taken down. And it feels like that might be on its way to being just a little bit too much. I mean, the last bit of bio coming through, reinforcements closing this down, pushing this back. Bunny is going to remain alive, and Rogue has spent his bank. Only 1 base coming up from him now on that left-hand side. As Rogue actually just resets himself in his chair, maybe a little bit of a sign, you know, like, oh god. This wasn't really meant to happen like this, you know, I wasn't really expecting. I thought that was just going to be the game winner. Bunny is going to stay alive for the moment. And that definitely increases his chances in this game. This Ling flood through is interesting. I mean, it has the potential to do a lot of the right units onto here, which they aren't, because Bunny's on the bottom right of the map, chasing a base that doesn't actually exist. Yeah, that found a lot of value, getting a few of those tanks and so on, and just resetting those. Take away some of... You just snipe a Zergling? That might be a little bit excessive. I know snipes are good, but I don't think they're so good you use them on Lings. Yeah. I do think that's nice, because it means that another like super defensive hold from Bunny becomes less likely, because you just knocked down a huge round of those defenses. Another Overlord in the front, taken down immediately. Army down the right side on the move. And Command Center coming up over on that far right as well. Trying to get that 5th base up. He's got another CC coming online. If you can keep denying 5th bases, I want to see the left-hand side. I know this bottom right's moving into position, but The left side was already fighting. We're going to drop in the main base. Now I want to look at the bottom right. Observer, keep up. Yeah. No, the clean feed's I usually like the clean feed, but right now I feel like they're just looking the one place I don't want to be looking. It's okay. Well, we're just going to be seeing this little drop goes in the main. Not a lot left here. Doesn't quite finish that queen off either. Rogue isn't finding a chance to push in at least, so Bunny can continue to take bases. And I mean, Bunny actually has a lot of money to spend. If he can spend that money, then brilliant. But he does need to find a way to spend it, of course. Not spending it all would be kind of silly, and would generally give Rogue some more opportunities here. A couple more drones. I mean, there's not really been anything to deal with the drops either, which is one of the main things that Bunny has kept going for himself. I am afraid, because if Rogue fights now, he's the player with a bank and a lot of money on the income. It's a good ghost count, though, and I mean, Rogue's not improved his army from Lingbane Ultra. This is absolutely an army that is looking to just overwhelm, swarm, and kill production, or kill economy and stop production, and then win the game from there. But with this amount of ghosts out, there is a world where these ghosts just wipe the floor with these ultras. A lot of this now comes down to positioning in the engage. Bunny doesn't have a sensor tower on the bottom right. If he had a sensor tower in the bottom right-hand corner, then I think he'd be okay, because he'd know this attack is coming, but he doesn't. And he's moving a lot of the deal with these ultras on the other side. So, the ultras on the other side not being dealt with. The ghost showing up. Can the planetary fortress there survive? Because this one will not. Some snipes going down. This looks very tough for Bunny. He's losing SCVs to banelings all over the place as well. 34 workers will fall. We've got some snipes off, but he loses 2 bases also. He does have 1 CC to replace on the top immediately. But that's exactly what Rogue needed. He needed to push back Bunny's economy a bit so that he can eventually actually get enough up to overwhelm. Because while he's trading inefficiently, that doesn't matter if he's just going to mine that much more. And that's what he set himself up for now. So I like that a lot more from Rogue. Definitely that was a step in the right direction as our bio army starts to set up in the center again. Stepping through, a few change lanes are going to get caught, so they will fall as well. And this is really tough. I mean, now you're just not mining enough to build enough. This next fight could still be very good for you. He just needs more SCVs, though, and he's not even affording SCVs, because I guess he's just prioritizing units. Which I do not disagree with. It's probably 100% the right call, but yeah. This doesn't feel immediately amazing, does it? As I feel Ling's gonna go and nibble down some rocks. There you go, Lingbane Ultra. Let's move over that left-hand side. Bioforce gets you. Gonna go after that hatchery. Gets it, but it costs you a lot of units. I mean, I understand the need for denying that base, but yeah, that wasn't exactly ideal. As do you have the Filner Pre-Igniter on the way up. Liberator Ghost all coming through. The 35 Banelings continue to produce from Rogue. Just going to be seeing the Ultras. Oh no, caught in the dance over here. Swirling around those Banes as they morphed in. Well, Rogue is just looking to attack again. I mean, he even has more army supply, which is not often seen, well, at this stage of the game, because usually the town has so few workers that they have more army supply. And I guess the problem is that obviously these positions are hard to bust into, but he's taking both of Bunny's bases, which basically says, hey, look, you literally cannot win the game no matter how badly I trade. If I take these bases, those getting caught in a blind. That was a great blinding cloud. Holy crap. Oh, that was huge. And now the Ghosts haven't been able to snipe before the Banes are getting forward. Yeah, it's going to be an unlikely hold here for Bunny, but looking less and less likely as the Ultra's on top of Ghost now as well. And Bunny is going to get wiped. Man, this game started so well for Bunny. This game was setting up so nicely. Unfortunately, it's all going to go wrong. Lings, Ultras coming through. Planetary Fortress dies. Tanks keep on getting cleaned up. Disruptors are here. Yeah, it's GG from Bunny. But man, this game started so well for him. He's got to be upset about that. I mean, like I say, it starts so strong. You're looking good. You've got to be feeling good. And that push of yours just gets wiped. Just season Rogue was the guy who did a lot of the work against Team NV. He went 6-0 against them, only stopped by Maru, who then lost to Dark. I imagine Rogue's playoff percentage or playoff run rate would be really cool to see. It'd be a cool stat if anyone's bored and would like to try and figure some stuff out. Go wild. Wild. How do you know whose hexagon is whose? You watch the first... You watch the start where they show them separately before they show them together later on. It's not great. I don't know why they did it like that, because they actually fixed it in this season. They did like purple and yellow and different colors and stuff, but then I don't know why it's not like that here in the postseason. It's a little weird. Moon Dance is the map pick from Bunny. It's definitely short. You've got that in-base. Terrans like it. So this is the one he wants to try and get the W. You want to go 1-1, knock Rogue down, and give his team, Team NV, a chance. Again, Team NV have always been starting strong in these matches. There's been... very rarely they had an 0-2 against them so far in this run, right? Let me have a quick peek, by the way, then. Let's confirm that. So yeah, so far, Team NV, they started off very strong against Afrika. They did go down, so they went 1-1, then 0-2 against Psystorm. They started off strong against Shopify, against Alpha X, and they also started off 1-1s on... Yeah, so they've always had, like, at least a 1-1 start in the first match, and I really felt like that was a big part of them having the momentum further down the line to close out, put themselves in series-winning positions. Feelings want to go chase down that SCV. We're just going to take 3 bases really early on this time around. Have a different approach then. CV pushed away, queen there to help get that out of there. Another queen on the way through, and Bunny not getting to see that in-base third being so early, so doesn't realize that this is a gasless opening, so he doesn't have that info to work with. A little bit of a shame, right? You would have liked to have at least just had some information, like I say, about that. Yeah, not knowing about that is a little bit rough. This means that Rogue's going to get off to a very strong economy, potential for a ton of queens as well. Definitely makes me feel as though any sort of aggression from Bunny shouldn't really fare too well. It's funny because like you don't have gas, but then you get so many queens and so many drones, it always feels like being aggressive is going to be is bad. And we actually do see Marauder Hellbat coming in. Okay, there's going to be a really good test then to see if what I'm saying is true. Can Rogue just get enough queens up to make it work? This might hit early enough that perhaps this is like one of the things, like Hellbat attacks are one of the things that would struggle the most here. Oh, that this build from Rogue would struggle the most against. He's trying to scatter around. He'll see no in-base third, which is obviously pretty good information already. Can he get the scout and marauders, etc. in time to respond? He's taking his first gas now. He's taking it in the back base, just trying to hide it as well. There's the armory coming down. The Overlord's being pushed away. Isn't going to be given information. Medevac on the way out. And again, there's no speed or anything from Rogue. It's just drones and queens. I guess they expected some amount of units to come out with this, but perhaps not the case. Bunny, can he bring the hype back a little bit here for Team NV and go 1-1? Sally and Reaper poking at the front. Hey, nothing's weird here. Everything's normal. I'm just poking like I usually do. Yeah, right. We know what's happening, Bunny. We know what you're up to, you cheeky little bunny rabbit. Because the shell's finishing soon, armory about to pop off. Rogue has not built a unit apart from queens and drones, as far as I can tell. He starts Ling speed. Yeah, that doesn't seem good, does it? Here we go. The Marauders have concussive shells. The queens start to split. The micro here needs to be incredible. The queens are not getting any damage onto the medevac, which generally does not feel good. As Rogue's greed, I think, will backfire completely. I genuinely, really, I guess, like I said, I thought like this greed could definitely lead him into a defense against aggression, but yeah, these sort of attacks hit so hard, and this is one of the most committed Hellbat attacks as well, right? So this is very much the case of, if this doesn't do damage, you're generally in more trouble than usual as a Terran. Obviously, a lot of queens would have been okay. He just never got the chance to get to a lot of queens. And Bunny shaking his head. But he gets the 1-1. They knock down Rogue. The 7-0 won't happen. Rogue can't destroy this finals.